This is the Transformers Encore G1 Metroplex by Takara Tomy. Oh man, a G1 toy reissued by Takara Tomy. 1985, it was reissued in 2008. Oh boy. I mean, I still get shivers, I still get goosebumps having this figure in hand, because this was a toy of my childhood. My brother had him, I had Omega Supreme and Ultra Magnus, and we did not have Trypticon, we didn't have Fortress Maximus, but we were happy with these things. This is the toy, the playset that every kid wanted back in the day, because it was Autobot City. I think, if I can recall correctly, I had given our old G1 Metroplex to a buddy of mine because he was into these G1s and he was into restoring them and all that. And we broke it in all places. We lost all the weapons. Scamper was gone. Six Gun was gone. The weapons, the missiles were all gone, which was a shame. When you were a kid, you didn't really take care of your toys. So let me just show off the back of the box. There we go. Some vintage artwork right there. I mean, if you know this artwork, I mean, you probably lived in the 80s like I did, and we had these Transformers toys. And for those of you who grew up 2000s, 2010s, I mean, you probably think, man, what an ugly box. I mean, you're probably thinking, why is everybody after this? Oh, you don't know the half of it, I'm telling you. This was literally gold when you had it, when you were a kid. And man, it just feels so good to have it once again. I picked up this set from a shop called The Falcon's Hangar over at Singapore. Let's get this bad boy out of packaging. So here's everything that came in the box of G1 Encore Metroplex. You've got the main robot. You've got the legs, or the main guns of 6 Gun. You've got some fists. You've got a nice instruction sheet. Man, back in the day, instruction sheets were really so informative. They were really so detailed. And there's some sticker sheets right here. There's no decoder strip. I don't think there's a decoder strip. Anyway, he's got a trading card, and he's got a baggie of all the other parts forming pieces. I mean, back in the day, G1 were parts forming robots, and this is how Transformers began. And the kind of plastic that was used back in the day, you can hear how solid these things are. None of that cheap stuff that Hasbro's using now. The original figure was released by Hasbro and Takara Tomy way back in 1985. You can see the stamp right there, Hasbro with the old logo. 1985, Takara Co. Limited, 1985. Tomy had not bought Takara yet, and it was made in China. Wow, this figure just takes me back. So much nostalgia. You got the rubber wheels right here, all riveted, none of that mushroom peg. This one has melted a bit. Probably not the seller's fault, but it got stuck in the plastic. You can see there's a little bit of melting, and it's a little sticky right now. And this is characteristic of the old rubber tires that Hasbro and Takara used. And here, more melting. And yeah, maybe when they reissue this figure, and I'm pretty sure they're going to reissue this one in a Walmart or PulseCon exclusive, but with the animation colors. Once they do that, they'll probably solve and address the rubber stickiness. They'll probably use the new ones that they're using right now with their reissues. You will also note that this figure has a ton of chrome. Back then, vac metal wasn't that expensive and wasn't too cumbersome to do. You get his thighs done in this really reflective chrome vac metal application. He's also got some vac metal chrome on his face, and that's always been the trademark of G1 Metroplex. Let me see if I still remember this. You put the antennae up like that. The arms, they fold down this way. This is how I took it out. I haven't messed with it. We're gonna discover everything at the same time if we've got any factory defects and all that. So, yep. You connect it that way, and then you extend that antenna. And there's another antenna here that's removable. like I said, parts forming was really a thing of G1. And the legs of Six Gun, I say legs because this actually forms another robot, but he uses it as his main guns. And you will hear that, you'll notice that when you shake this gun, you will hear that the spring is still there. And if you actually load it with these missiles, you can actually shoot it. We're not going to do that. I'm not going to stick the decals or stickers as well. I'm trying to preserve this figure in its purest form so that when time comes for this figure to be sold, like when I die, when my family takes over my collection, they can sell and resell this figure for a higher value because the stickers haven't been applied and these things haven't been punched. So I'm going to keep it that way. These are other guns, which you can also mount here. I think we're going to do his battle mode first. Then we're going to assemble Six Gun. So yeah, he's really a formidable robot mode. And I thought this was really pretty cool. All the guns out, and the instructions don't say this, or the box doesn't say it, but you can actually put his knee guards on him like this. The box art doesn't say, or the instructions don't really specify this, but you can if you want to. And I think it makes the robot mode look so much cooler with the knee guards, more solid legs. But again, you don't have to. You can take that out. Now he does come with some minions, and one of them is Slammer. You will remember that Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom line, we did have a Slammer, and this is where that character came from. This was Slammer in G1. He didn't transform into a robot. He's a tank, but he does transform into parts of the Autobot city, which we'll talk about later. But this is basically it. This is not a transforming minion. Now, one transforming minion, though, is this guy. This is Scamper. I don't know what the Japanese name is, but let me see if I can get his arms. He's also kind of a parts forming figure. You mount the cannons or his arms on top of the car. Yeah, this is his car mode. I think there are some stickers that you can apply, but he's a six-wheeled sort of Knight Rider car, Knight Rider car of sorts. And to transform him into his robot mode, the wheels roll wonderfully, and it's all six wheels rolling. Nothing is molded in. And if you see right here, it just rolls fantastic. You transform him this way by just folding the bonnet and turning it into his chest. The back just folds up back like that, and then you reattach the arms this way. Yeah, I mean, in today's standards, it's not that great, but back in the day, oh my goodness, this thing was amazing. And he had this tiny gun which he could hold. So that was pretty cool. Yep. So you got Slammer, you got Scamper, and then finally we can assemble Six Gun. Okay. I think this piece right here could connect back here. So Six Gun, this is his main torso. This is his shoulders. And from his name, Six Gun, he's got six guns. Anyway, am I doing it right? Okay. All right. So you also remember that in Siege, War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege, there was a deluxe class figure that was Six Gun. And this is where that whole idea, that character came from. This was the original Six Gun. And obviously the Generations version, the Siege version, is so much better because it has fully articulated, it's got hands and all that. But this was how Six Gun was back in G1. So again, not much. But, growing up as a kid, if you had this, oh, here are the other guns, my bad. So Six Gun, 2, 4, 6 plus 1, he should be 7 gun. So, back in the day, you'd wake up to Christmas morning and you'd open up a present like this, or you do well in school and your folks just go off to a toy store and order or buy this thing for you. I mean, in today's standard, this might not mean much, might not look much, but back in the day, in the 80s, this was everything. I mean, if you had this, you were the most popular kid on the block. Everybody wanted to play with this. When you transform it, you turned it into a playset. go put some figures around it and play along with and play with this figure for hours. As far as articulation goes, the neck doesn't really have any, it just moves up and down like that because of transformation. The shoulders are on ratcheting joints. I mean, come on, right? How cool is that? He's got a ratcheting waist swivel. I don't know if I can show off the legs. I'm afraid I don't want to break it, but usually the legs and the arms, usually the ratchets, they're the first ones to go. So this one I think is still pretty cool. I'm being very careful, very gingerly about it because it's an old figure and it could break. And that's about it. The legs are also on ratcheting, but on the wrong side of the knee. And that's mainly because of transformation. So not a lot of articulation, but to have shoulders and hips that actually have ratchet joints, that's actually pretty good for a G1 figure. Head to toe, if you exclude the horns, the figure stands at about 26 centimeters tall, or about 10¼ inches tall. And for comparisons, here we have the Encore reissue G1 Optimus Prime. We've got the more recent generations deluxe class Bumblebee. I think this was the Worlds Collide Bumblebee. And then I believe that, well, obviously, if you want a figure that's absolutely in perfect scale with this figure, that'd be this small, because in the cartoons, he was huge. It was the Autobot City. But I think these smaller figures, the core class and the, I don't know, it's still called Legends, but the Legion class or Legends class, I think these are the most well-scaled figures to fit with something like this. So to transform him into his vehicle mode, or his rolling fortress alt mode, let me see if I still know how to do this. Okay, let's split up 6 gun, because we're gonna need him. We're gonna need him for city, Autobot City mode later. So let's put the guns off to the side. Scamper, I think we can, yeah, we can transform him now quickly, because you've already seen him transform from car to robot mode. So he's gonna transform this way. Okay, car mode. And Slammer, no, he's just gonna stay like that. Okay, this is his, you transform him into his city mode that way. Okay, for this guy, we'll go ahead and remove the hands. It's been a characteristic of G1 figures, the hands, they just get removed. This one, I think you can do away with it. You can keep it on if you want to, but I don't really feel it that way. So you fold the arms like this, fold the horns like that, and click that head in place. To pop it back, there's a switch right here, and I thought it was pretty cool. It's like a spring-loaded gimmick to allow you to pop the head back to robot mode. Okay, and then you'll need to remove, yeah, let me see if I can do this properly. You need to remove the knee guards. Okay, and then you're going to fold the shins out, and then very carefully rotate the legs up, and essentially that is the the rolling battle station alt mode. Now obviously you'll need to put some of the accessories like 6 gun. You'll need to mount him here, the legs, to really juice up and make this a fully operational battle station. And then you're gonna put the other guns here. Okay. And you can put some cars on top, but we're not gonna do that. So, yeah, there you go. That is the rolling battle station, or the vehicle mode of Metroplex. And yeah, he rolls very, very well. The wheels are wobbly a little bit, but it still rolls very, very well. It's an incredible looking battle station. It kind of reminds me of a G.I. Joe rolling fortress. But you know, wow, look at this. And it's like armed to the teeth. You could stop Tripticon or any of the Decepticons or Devastator. So Yeah. Now, if you want to see a comparison in vehicle mode, here is G1 Optimus Prime. Now, obviously, he's just way too big in scale. But, you know, when you were a kid, you didn't care about scale. You just wanted everybody. And you would play with them like, let's go, Autobots, roll out, Metroplex. Let's destroy these Decepticons for good. And now to transform him into his base mode or city mode, go ahead and remove the weapons once again. Okay, move these. Okay. And then here's where the magic happens. You want to rotate the legs all the way back like this. Okay. And then you're going to open up these back panels right here. Rotate this torso. You want to open these back panels right here. Lay him down, sort of split the thighs. Jeez, I'm cringing every time I do that because those are the first things that go. Those are the first things that break, these ratchets. And you just sort of set him up like this, okay? Now, this one folds up like this. Folds up like that. This one, remove it. And this is the cool bit. You want to rotate, oh, not yet. Yeah, rotate this way. Pop this out. You want to fold this chest up like this. Rotate the arm this way. Then you want to open this one up down like this. I always move the legs apart like this, but the box instructions say you move them forward. Now the shin guards, they're gonna go back right here. It'll have a sticker that says it's a helipad. And then where's Scamper? Scamper can stay right up here. And essentially this is the basic base mode. It even has some pop-out rocket launchers. How cool is that? And then obviously you can just plug the different accessories however you want to. You can. There's a specific way to do it, but this is how I did it when I was a kid. And then Scamper would come out here. And then again, you can plug in the guns right here. Maybe this one, I don't know, maybe you can still plug it right here. It's like this is going to be the tower mode right there. How cool is that, man? Here's where we put it when I was a kid. We would plug it on the back right here. And I thought that just made the base mode look better. And I mean, come on. How cool is this as a base mode? And here's the gimmick for Scamper. What you do is you want to fold and open the sort of drawbridge or ramp. And then there's a switch right here that when you flick it, and I thought that was cool. That takes me back when I was a kid. In this mode, you can kind of scale with the old Legends figures from Titan's Return, from the Prime Wars. Yeah, this one, no, it doesn't fit, but it kind of works with these other cars. But I think they work best with the the Micromaster, Battlemaster figures, and I think they could stay right here. Stay right here, and here is G1 Bumblebee. You can stay right there. Scamper could be here, and yeah, it really is a cool set. Especially if you had a lot of these smaller Transformers, you could actually put them, make a decent playset out of it. One last gimmick I forgot to mention is on his shoulder. Look at this. He's got flip out blaster cannons. How cool is that? I mean, for the G1 toy to have all these gimmicks and it still look amazing, that's pretty cool. And so some final thoughts on this G1 Transformers Encore Metroplex. I love this figure. Like I said, it just takes me back to when I was a kid. This was everything when you had it, and we worked so hard to just get this figure in our hands, and we had a lot of convincing to do with our parents just to let them buy this thing. And this thing was pretty expensive back in the day, and I was just so glad this was part of our childhood. and I'm even more happy and happier that I have it once again in this pristine condition. Again, big thanks to the Falcons hanger for this figure. It was absolutely just a lovely figure, and I got it for a pretty decent price. I mean, if you have the means to do so, you get the G1 Metroplex. Don't go for the old vintage ones. Those things are just astronomical in prices. Try and get the Encore version. They're just as good. You can wait for the reissue for the Transformers 1986 movie accurate cartoon colors reissue, but I'm pretty sure when Hasbro does reissue this figure, it's not going to have these chrome vac metal pieces. It's not the same without these pieces. So this figure, man, if I could rate it, not in today's standard, but with everything, like the nostalgia, for what it was back in the day, this thing really deserves an 11 out of 10. I mean, it's just an amazing, cool figure to have. And, you know, to a certain extent, this thing is a lot more enjoyable than the Generations figure, but that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this Transformers G1 Encore Metroplex. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.